Hello, love bugs. So great to meet you all. My name is Susan. I am the emergency stitcher, and as the name implies, I work in emergency medicine. I'm more like obsessed with it. It's truly my life's calling. Ambulances, helicopters. Helicopters are number one, if we're honest. An emergency room. It's my jam. It's where my heart soars. And of course, cross stitching. I love emergency medicine because it's a way for me to show love to those who need it and let someone know that in the times that you might be the most scared, you're never alone. You always have a friend, you have someone who loves you, who will fight for you, hold your hand for you. So I know it's hard, but I adore it. Find something that makes your heart free and go pitter-pat. I love cross-stitching, of course, that's why we're here. I thought I would start a Flosstube channel because I just adore watching you all, and it's just a way for me to say thank you and join in on the fun. One of my former colleagues, Amy of Bristol Blue, she has a Etsy shop and a Flosstube, so she's truly a member of my family. So she's been encouraging and wonderful, and so yes, thank you, Amy. A little more about me. I live in Wisconsin, about an hour away from Spring Green Country Sampler, if you're familiar with it. So hoping to make many more trips. I'm still fairly new to this, so hoping to make many more trips down there in the future. Two teenagers who have given me more free time. I miss them needing me as much, but the stitching time has been fun. And if you're wondering, I'm always this peppy and happy because life is just too beautiful to not be. I have two furry creatures who, together with my two humans, make my 4 children. So you might see them be bopping in and out. Yeah, I got started in needlework. It's always been in my life. I want to show you a couple of important things to me. This first one is an embroidered piece my very dear auntie made for my grandfather. He passed in 1986, but he was very important to me and always will be. He had a dark room where he developed film, and he also loved gardening. And so this always hung in his dark room, and I have fond memories as a child seeing this in his dark room, and every time I look at this, it feels like a warm hug from my grandpa. So needlework and it feels right. It feels like family. I recently lost my mother to a cardiac event, which oddly enough, because I'm passionate about cardiology, but she made this for her mother, and so again, this is just another warm hug. It's just a way for me to connect with her. And it just says, my mother, 1989. So again, fairly new to this. I've tiptoed in here and there through the years, but I've really started to fall in love with it again recently, with just my time and having a little bit more time. So a lot of my projects you'll see are in Ida, which you're gonna laugh. I'm thinking about changing out the fabric for linen because I've started linen and I've fallen in love, for lack of a better term. And so yeah, let me show you without further ado what I have. I want to share like my absolute favorites that I'm working on towards the end. This first one I saw on Stacy, the 911 Stitcher, and I've always felt a kinship with her. And Stacy, if you're watching, 911, public service. I work on ambulances. She was in law enforcement, and I think especially if you're women in public service, first responders, there's a special family bond. And she's gone through a lot of health challenges thanks to her service to our country and our community. So, Stacy, I love you. This is Long Dong Samplers, Butte Spot, I think. This is 14 count. I'm ashamed to say I'm not very far in it. I saw this purple, it's like a Da Vinci fabric on 1 2 3 stitch, and I was like, oh my stars, I need to have it. And so again, I'm not very far, just working on that emerald border, but stitch by stitch beautiful things will happen. So yes, and this is in a Whip It Up project bag, very, very sweet Canadian. If you haven't seen her on Instagram, check her out. What else do we have? Oh, this is Hello from Liz Matthews, a bunch of Hocus Pocus, and it is on just like 14 count fabric flare. Oh, with the crow. You guys, I'm so sorry, I should have ironed this. And I'm using a DMC at 12, so it kind of sparkles a bit more. So I'm honestly very far on this, pretty proud of this. And again, this is kind of starting with Ida is where I started to pick it up. And then of course you see more things and you fall in love. This is so fun. We are of Norwegian heritage, and I forget where I saw this, but I bought it from an overseas company, I think artsanddesign.com. It's called Perman. It is a wilderness map of Norway. It was a kit, so all the threads and the DMC was included. But as you can see, I feel like I'm quite far. I've got my Norwegian flag and then the border. And fun fact for you, the small town I grew up in here in Wisconsin, I don't know if you're familiar, it's called Westby. They pride themselves on being Norwegian. In fact, in choir in high school, we learned to sing the Norwegian national anthem, Ja vi elsker, right along with the Star Spangled Banner. And we celebrate Norwegian Independence Day, 7th of May, every May 16th. So very proud of that. This bag, if you haven't checked out Bristol Blue's Etsy shop, I just love this bag. I treasure it dearly. She like quilted it. It's from an old quilt and it's just wonderfully made. In here is ink circles, red, big red ship of life. I'm fully aware this is going to take me until I'm probably 79, but that's okay. Not a lot done, but this is just a 14 count sandstone. I think it's Weigart, and just all done in red 493, DMC 493. So that's super duper fun. Now we're getting into some linen fun, just about. This is my last Ida piece. This is Cricket Collection Castle La Creep, and I just fell in love. If you haven't seen it, I'll find a picture, but it's got ghosts and a bat and a castle and a moon and lightning, and it's so fun. And I know this is a Halloween piece, but I have some spooky books and a bookshelf. I can take a picture for you someday, but I think I'm gonna put this down by it and get like some black candelabras and just leave it up all year for the ambiance. Ain't nothing like a haunted castle, am I right, friends? Okay, so when I started with linen, I started with 28 count because I was like, gosh, where do I even begin? So this is, and I started this on Christmas Eve. I had to work inside the actual emergency room in a smaller town I was assigned to. I had 2 patients all day, and so I was able to get a lot done, and like I said, fell in love with linen. So this is Kathy Barrick, Heaven and Nature Sing. Wait until you see this. If you've ever seen Snug Harbor Crafts, Kath says, dead on the floor. I'm dead on the floor. Look at her. She's just perfect. Very proud and in love. So yes. So I'm hopeful. Maybe like Christmas and July stitching. Now that I know what I'm doing, I feel like the needle flies a little bit faster. You're questioning yourself less, and I don't need this big overhead magnifying lamp that I have. So now that I kind of feel a little bit more confident and I know what I'm doing, I'm hopeful my needle will fly. This is 28 count Smith sampler Scarlet House, and I saw this because my friend Amy did it on, she put it on her Flosstube channel, and she called it a tisket tasket, and it makes me giggle every time, and she calls the border teepees, and so every time I see one I just giggle. And so just a 28 count picture this plus I found on 123 Stitch, not super far, but for starting on linen I am super proud. And yeah, this is actually stored in a Shelly Fry keepsakes bag that she made to sell at Keepsakes, and I gave them a jingle when I saw the picture on Instagram, and they lovingly sent it to me. So Shelly, if by any chance you're reading this, just know it's very treasured and near and dear to my heart, so thank you. Everybody in this community is just so loving and kind, and even if they don't know you, like I called Keepsakes and it was Steph who answered the phone, and she was like the celebrity, and I was flabbergasted, but she was the sweetest pea in the whole wide universe, so thank you. All right, friends, 2 more. These, oh my gosh, are 32 count, and I don't know if that's as high as I'm gonna go. There's a kit I really want on Country Sampler. It's all kitted. It's Stacy Nash Turkey Hollow Farm, and it's 36 count. And I might challenge it because without hard work and getting outside of our comfort zone, how will you ever succeed? There's a quote that I just love, and they say, if you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you'll fail. In order to succeed, you have to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. So I may try it. So this next one, like I said, these are a passion of my heart. This one is Plum Street Samplers Live on Little. I'm sure you've all seen it. This is on 32 count, Barnyard Check from Fat Quarter Shop. The minute I saw this Barnyard Check and I saw Live on Little, I was like 2 + 2 = 4, get in my life. I am almost done with the blue and just utterly enamored. And so I can't wait to see this come together. I'm going on a little trip tomorrow, so this one is going to be my airport and airplane stitching without a doubt. Like, this one's already getting ready to be packed. So I'm really excited. And then this one I'm doing with a stitch along with my dear Amy, and we bought it at Spring Green Country Sampler last week. It's Chessie and Me Across the Sea. I love a good cross-stitch piece that tells a story that connects you to history, because I feel like there's a kinship there with the person who originally made it or even designed it. There's just like this friendship that transcends years and centuries sometimes. So this is 32 count Fiber on a Whim. Let's see, she wrote it down for me. Wheat from Fiber on a Whim, 32 count. And like, can I shout out Country Sampler just one more time? Because it was the last day of Stitch Camp that I was there. They were so busy. And these sweet peas, they're putting on this amazing, retreat. And like some Flosstube celebrities were there. Like, I spied Carousel Black Stitcher. I wanted to say hi, but I was nervous. But anyways, like the owner was so busy. And the store was jam-packed. But she still took time to kit this for me, because I was like, I really love it, but I'm so nervous. I know you have 36 and 40 counts on your website. Could you do 32? And she's like, give me 10 minutes. Of course I'll do it for you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I am getting there. The red is supposed to be like a square. It's a different type stitch. I apologize. I don't know what it's called. But you like do a square, and then in the back it looks like an X, but I just didn't feel comfortable. And 14 count Ida Girl, if you ever watch her, she says it's your hobby, make your heart happy. And so I'm going to quote her there, and I'm just doing a simple cross stitch, and I'm just in love, and I'm very proud of myself, and it's amazing to be confident and proud in a new challenge. So just I'm going to be spending a lot of time with this beautiful baby, and this one might be coming on my trip too. So it's just, and I got this Spring Green Country Sampler needle minder, and I'm astonished. I didn't know they would have a needle minder. Is this it? Does every cross stitch store have needle minders? If so, like, this might be a new hobby. Like, sorry guys, I digress. But I can't wait to show you progress on these going forward. That is all I have for whips, and I feel like that's a lot. I do have some plans for the future though. I picked up a couple of really cute patterns that I am trying to find either 32 or 36 count fabric for. So if you have any suggestions, I know the designers do, but I am really loving 32 with one strand. So that might be happening. So again, I bought these at Country Sampler, Brenda Gervais, Every Opening Flower. It's called for 36 Winter Brew by R&R. And I do love that antiquing, so I might try it. Channing Street by, I think this is Annie B's. Yes, she made this in remembrance of her hubby, and I just think that's so sweet. And just like all of you, I'm sure I'm a sucker for a beautiful house and a border. And then, gosh, I must be obsessed with Brenda Gervais. If you're watching, I love you. This is At Home. Can we just talk about the deer in the house? Dead on the floor. I'm so excited. And then, yeah, so I'm going to kit those and work on what I have. Thank you for watching with me so far. This has been so fun. I'm so nervous. I don't know if any of you have seen the show Friends or are fans of it, but every episode they're like, the one with the blackout. This will be the one where Susan's nervous. But yeah, I thank all of you for being in my life and putting yourself out there on Flosstube without you even knowing it. You have a friend. And I'm excited to get to know all of you. I want to put some pictures that I took at Country Sampler at the end. You know, you see beautiful museum quality stitches on Instagram, and you see beauties, eye candy on YouTube, but to see it in person and just to know that somebody put every ounce of their love and hard work and time into something, it just blows you away. So very appreciative of all of you for that. And yes, I look forward to getting to know all of you. I'm hoping to make this an every 2-week thing. Like I said, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I'll be home Friday. There is a cross-stitch store in Las Vegas, so I'm hopeful before I hit the airport on the way home to swing in. There's a couple of things I want to kit up. I have my eye on some more Paulette Stewart. I don't know if you guys have seen her. This Happy Morning, I think that's what it's called, with the barn, and then Christmas in July and Summer Moon. So I might kit up one of those, maybe two. And then when I fly home, Stitchville, USA is not very far away, so I might make a jaunt in, just because I'm kind of nestled in this area where there's beautiful things a couple hours away, but then between work and raising kids, and my daughter has a job now, getting her where she needs to go, it can get hard to get to these stores. Yes. Oh, there are 2 more things I want to show you. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, if you go visit like a historic site or mansion, what have you, a museum, sometimes they have in their gift shop cross stitches. Usually they're done by this company called the Posy Collection, and there's a website, Half Moon Stitchery, who has boatloads of Posy collections, so I'm going to be like buying her out. Anyways, these came in the mail and I love them. This is the Grand Canyon, and I bought it because I'm going to be taking a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon on Tuesday. And this is Old Sturbridge Village. It is a historic, kind of like living, still working historic town in Massachusetts. And I'm actually taking the kiddos here when we go on our big trip to Boston later this summer. So I don't know about you guys, but when I travel, I love to theme stitch. It's so funny that I don't have a Las Vegas piece. We'll see. I was looking before I went, and there's a big Heaven and Earth Las Vegas, but you don't want to travel with a beautiful piece that big. That's like a do in one spot kind of stitch because it's so big, but they're beautiful. There is a Heaven and Earth I might think about doing. It's like a bookshelf of U.S. travel, and I love that. So that's so fun. I think that's all I have for you guys. If I may be so bold, please, please, please think about learning CPR. Even just a couple of seconds of CPR can save a life, and it's of utmost importance. So thank you for spending some time with me. I've enjoyed every second, and I'm going to put those pictures of Country Sampler. But you guys have a beautiful day. Stay blessed and happy, okay? Bye.